I'm David, and this is my God story. I knew for some time that eventually my kidneys might fail. I remember that my grandmother died, being in the hospital where a peaceful presence permeated an austere environment as she kissed me her last time and told me goodbye. At that time, it was announced she died of kidney failure. It was in the 1990s that I had a kidney stone and found out that I probably had polycystic disease as well. For years I did fairly well, but in about 7 years ago, I was told to prepare for dialysis, that I was in kidney failure and would soon need it. But all my family members that could donate carried the gene, and my wife was not a match, so that was not a possibility. I was placed on the donor list for kidney transplant. At that time, there were 70,000 people on the list in the United States, and it took about 5 years. I prepared myself by deciding that I needed to get in better shape, so I started walking to try to lose some weight and be ready in case something happened and I could get a kidney before 5 years was up. As I walked, I would look around and look at all God's blessings in the nature, His creation, and thank Him for the blessings in my life. At the same time, God was leading someone to donate a kidney to me. I didn't know it at the time, and I soon found out I also had Parkinson's disease in 2005. I had to stop my surgical practice. Tremor in my left hand was dominant, and I couldn't operate anymore. As I prayed, I thought, well, the only thing I know how to pray for myself is to pray the Lord's Prayer. I figured that was good for Jesus, it was good for me. So I prayed, and when I got to the part of give me my daily bread, I realized that it was God's turn to show me His grace, if He willed. So I continued to pray for my daily bread and decided that I would accept whatever that was, whether it was someone giving me a transplant or dialysis or whatever happened. My daughter went to visit one of her friends one day, Jeannie, and she asked how I was doing. She had actually been a patient of mine, and she was concerned about my Parkinson's disease. And my daughter told her, Laura told her, she said, well, he needs a kidney transplant. And Jeannie said, oh, really? God's been leading me to donate a kidney to someone. It must be your dad. So Laura came home and told me about it, and I talked to Jeannie, and Jeannie asked for the number to go be tested. I thought, I'm not worthy of a non-family member to donate a kidney to me. And so I kept on with my walk, kept praying for my daily bread, and asking God for healing. Jeannie finally, one last time, as I continued to refuse to give her the number to be tested, said, I'm going to ask you one last time, Dr. B. If you'll give me the number, I want to go be tested because I know I'm a match. And so I gave her the number. I figured, well, this will put an end to that. She'll find out she's not a match, and I won't have to worry her anymore. And I came home one Sunday with my wife from church, and Jeannie and Laura were sitting in the family room, and Jeannie says, I'm your match. They asked her, the transplant team asked her, how did she know that? And she said, well, it's a God thing. So I thought, well, God is showing His grace to me by this, her being able to be a match and a donor for me. And who am I to stare grace in the face and say no? So in 2007, April, I had my kidney transplant, and Jeannie, through her graciousness, donated her kidney to me. And this month is 7 years post-transplant. I'm doing fine. Jeannie's doing fine too. And we're grateful to God for His presence in our life. I'm David.
And I'm Jeannie.
And this is our God story.
What's yours?